Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the full stack development session. So today we are going to discuss something about what exactly full stack development is, why we need to learn full stack development, and what are the technologies involved in this full stack development. And after learning this course, and you what roles you will be eligible for. So we'll be discussing about all those things extensively. So but before I talk about what exactly the full stack development is, I would like to talk about what are the different categories of software applications we do have in our daily life. When we are working with the computer system, what are the software applications we do observe. So based on different categories, we have different kind of applications. But when I talk about one of the broad category, that is like here, instead of naming them here, I would like to provide the examples for that. Something like calculator, and the one which I am using right now, Paint, or something like some media players. We do have some media players like Windows Media Player, or VLC Media Player, etc. So these are one category of applications example, and we do have the other category of applications as well. In that regard, we have something like this: Gmail, Facebook, something like Make My Trip, or Book My Show, Twitter, etc. So these are the other category of applications. So if you look at this, what is the fundamental difference we do observe between these two category of applications? So I'm not asking any uh, deep technical differences. Just by looking at these examples, uh, what is the fundamental difference we can observe? You can say your answer in the chat box. I'm welcoming all your answers. What is the fundamental difference you do observe there? Yeah. Okay, fine. The thing is very simple. The first category of applications, if we want to work with, we do not require any internet support over there. So I can say here, so for the running of which I don't require any internet. But for the running of the second category of applications, we require internet. There is a fundamental difference. So forget about the technologies involved in creation of first category of applications. What code means, what programming languages. So that is different. But the major difference here is to run the category first category applications, we do not require any internet connection over there. But for the running of the second one, we require internet connection. Why actually we require it? The thing is, I talk about full stack later. That word called full stack. Before I talk about that full stack word, these things are very important. We are going to discuss about this. First category of applications are actually known as. There's a name for that. We call them as standalone applications. And the second category of applications are called web-based applications. or we simply call them as web applications or web apps. Web applications, usually we say. To run the standalone applications, we require just one system. One system should be in working mode, and in that system, we do install particular software, anything like either Paint or calculator or even a media player or a game, anything. That software will be installed in that particular computer once and can run any number of times it is. So the thing is here, to run such applications, uh, you require only one system enough, and you'll be adding that or installing that software, it will be running. But for the running of the second category of applications, at a time, two systems must be in running mode or in connection with each other, and two systems must be in a running mode. So, what are those two systems here? They are called, one system is called the client system, and the other system is called the server system. So, like if you think it as a computer, also like you need one computer, which is like a uh, client computer or client system, and the other one should be like a server system. So both systems must be in working mode in order to accomplish any task. Then where that word called internet comes here is, let's say for example, mail application like Gmail. You are using a Gmail, assume you have a Gmail account, and where you'll open your Gmail, maybe in your phone app, or maybe in the browser of your phone, or maybe in your laptop, somewhere you'll be opening. If you say your Gmail is present in your phone, then it is not correct. Why? Because if you don't use your phone, if you open your laptop, there also you can open your Gmail, right? If you say your Gmail is in your laptop, then you can take your friend's laptop. There also you can open again your Gmail account, right? Which means actually your Gmail real data is not stored in your devices, but they are the devices which are you're using for connecting to the Gmail. Means, to make it more clear, your Gmail data is stored in Gmail server system, not in your system, and you are accessing it through your computers or your tablet or your phone. They are your client system. So if you want to work with the Gmail, your Gmail server should be in connection, in starting mode, and your client also, means your computer or your phone also should be in working mode. It should be in touch with each other. So that is what a web application is about. So if you want to work with web application, two systems must be in connection. They are client system as well as server system. And how about that connection? See, the client system is your computer or your phone or whatever it is, your device, and it should be connected with the server system. Let's say in this example we have something like a Gmail server, right? Where Gmail server will be there. Gmail server obviously will be at the Google office, right? That will be there, and your client system is at your home. You cannot obviously make the connection from your home to that particular a Gmail server computer there, right? Obviously, no, you cannot make it. So that's the reason. What we do here is we take the help of already existed connection, that is called internet. To make it more clear, just a minute. So in this world, So many computers are already connected together uh, with a common line or with a common interface, I can say, called internet. Here assume like this brown color line as internet, and assume all these computers are connected to this particular internet. Yeah, so assume that middle one, that long line is like internet, and here assume this first one is your computer, something like I'm just naming it as PC1, like your computer, and the second one something like PC2, like your friend computer. This is something like this, and assume like you have one computer here, like something like PC3, which is your college computer. Your college also has some server, right? Computer. Assume like this is one computer where, which is like a Gmail server computer, and like this you have assume like your Facebook server here, like that, and so on. All server is also like a computer, guys. It is also a computer, but whose capabilities of are more. They will be doing so many, the CPU power will be more, and they'll be handling so many things. Like that you have assume like some millions of computers are already connected to this particular line called internet. What we do here is assume like this is your client system, from which you wanted to connect it to the Gmail server system, because we have to connect from client to server. If I have to connect it to that, then so many things are already connected with this, right? So how can I differentiate it? Like how can I exactly connect it to that particular system only? For that I need something unique number, for which through which I can able to connect. So that is called here an IP address. So every system which is connected to the internet will be having the unique IP address over there, and this Gmail server IP address will be entering in our computer. Then where we'll be entering inside the browser, will be entering, so that the connection would be established. Then it will be connected to that computer, and that will be happening. But how many computers will be there? As I already told you, so many computers are connected together. So remembering, or at least you can say addresses. You cannot remember the IP addresses of all the computers, which we generally use 4 5. Also, you cannot remember. Why? Because the IP addresses usually, in terms of like some numbers, like you have something like 192.08.1. Just example, I'm telling. Maybe some Gmail server address, IP address, like that. For Facebook, you have something. So remembering these numbers are hectic task and obviously practically not possible. For that, we have another concept through which we will be connecting to the computers on the internet, like especially the server systems, is with the help of a concept called domain names. What we call this domain name. So let's say, for example, same example like Gmail server computer. If you want to connect, we don't use IP address from our end. We use something like domain name, that is gmail.com. We type like www.gmail.com over there instead of IP address. Then successfully we can connect it to the Gmail server computer over there. Right. And as a user, we enter gmail.com, but in the background, it will be connecting through IP address only. Uh, but the thing is, very important thing here, that is where this word called full stack will come into picture. Okay, fine. The internet is something like this, and in this way, we can connect to any server system from our client system. But where this full stack comes into picture, so that is what we are going to see now. See, from our client system, every time what we do is we'll be opening our browser, right? And there you have some page like you want to do registration, because assume like you don't have account in Gmail. Then what you'll be doing, you'll be doing the registration. So when you're doing the registration, you'll be providing all your details here in the client system, and you'll be clicking the button called register. The moment you click that, your data will be transferred from your client system to the server system. Then what exactly will happen in the server system is, so inside the server system, you'll be having certain programs already written. Let's say for example, here one program is already written and the program name is registration, a register program or registration program. So what this program will do is, whatever the data which is coming from your client, assume like they are entering some user information, the data this program will take, and this will process the data. If required, what this server program will do is, it will connect to the database. There inside the server, we do have something called the database, and it will be connecting to the database over there. And whatever the data you are entering will be pushed inside the database. There will be certain structure like table and all will be there, and the data will be pushed into that particular table. Once that process is completed, because I am telling you this registration is a program which is written in the server side. Once it is done, everything is clear, then this will be generating something like some response will be generated, like let's say for example, it is taking the data coming from the client and process that data, and it calls the database and it adds the data into the database. Once it is done, it will generate one message like registration successfully completed. So registration successfully completed, that response will message will come from your server to the client. So whatever it comes from server to the client is called response, and whatever it goes from your client to the server is called request. Repeat, from the client, whatever it goes to the server is called request, and whatever it comes back from the server to the client is called response. If you talk about any web application in this world, that will be following this particular request and response cycle only. Here, this is what you did for the registration. Next today, what you will do, you will not do one more time registration, right? Directly will go with the login activity. There you just to provide your username and password. Then that data, your username and password will be there. No such data again, will be uh, shared from client to the server, and inside the server you will be having some program, the way you have a register program, right? In the same way, you will be having one more program here, and that program would be something like login. Assume like you have a program called login program. What exactly this will do is, this will take that data whatever you are entering like username password, that will take that credentials data, and it will check whatever the data you are entering is correct or not. Assume like you are entering your login credentials here, it will check that is correct or not. How it will check? It will connect it to the database. In the database already, assume like yesterday we uh, successfully registered, right? And today we are login, assume. Then it will get the data, and it will check the data whether that is correct or not. Whatever your entered data, original data, if both are correct, then one thing will happen. If that is wrong, then one thing will happen. Two possibilities. Let's say for example, you are writing wrong username password, you are entering wrong. Then one error message will be generated in the login program. That message will be sent from server to the client in the form of response. This is one thing. If it is correct, like you entered the correct username and password, then what will happen is, one home page will be generated in this login program, and that home page will be sent as a response from your server to the client. So this will happen whenever a web application is working. And whatever we see on this server side are programs, right? Register, login, all these programs are written with the help of certain server side programming languages. We have some server side programming languages like Java, Node.js, R, .NET, or Python. Using these languages, people will write the server side programming. The programming is nothing but whatever it is, like I mentioned here, registration, login. Not only this, you have so many modules. See, if you are working with, assume, like some e-commerce application, you have login, registration, payment, like so many search, so many activities will be there. That depends. And you don't require to have knowledge in all these languages. If you have knowledge in either Java or Node or Python or .NET, any one of them is fine. But in real time scenario, we don't use only the programming language for creating any application. We take the help of one helping and something like, we call it as like a framework. So we have something like Spring for Java, and for Node we have something like Express JS, or we call Express. For .NET we have something .NET Core ASP.NET, and Python we have something like Django, or people call it as Django. Okay, whatever it is, see what exactly this is called. These are called frameworks. What these frameworks will do here is, frameworks are not, first of all, they are not programming language. Either Java, .NET, or Python, these are programming languages, but frameworks are not. Then what they are built on the top of certain program language, but they will make programmers work easy. Like in simple words, if you write some code with the Java, if it takes some pure Java, then if it takes some 500 lines of code to develop some server side application, then it may be done in just 200, 250 lines, or 300 lines, 250 lines if you use Spring framework. That's it. That is about your server side creation. And this code and whatever registration, login, all together is called server side software. And to create it, we use the technologies called Java or Node or .NET. Next is, okay, fine, if the request comes from the front end, your server is in a position to handle the request because you have written the code and it is connecting to the database also. From the client side, what will be there? You are entering your mail address, Gmail address, or whatever your server address on the browser. The moment you enter, what will happen? One website will be opening, right? You're able to see like a login page, you're able to see like registration page, login page, right? All these are called web pages, and that together is called website. So client side, what we do have is a website. That website is nothing but it's a collection of web pages. So to create the web page, or to create the website, what we should do, to how to create it. If you want to create a website, first of all we should create different web pages. If you know how to create a web page, we can together build all web pages together. That is nothing but a website only. So for that to happen here, to create a web page, we have certain technologies, basic technologies, knowledge we need. That is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you know these, then we can create a website or web page. That is client side thing we can able to create. If you know any of these languages, either Java or Node or Python or .NET, then we can create a successful back server side. But all together is your complete web application. If you're talking about a web application, web pages will be there, and the moment you click something on the web page, in the background some logics also will be happening. So more logics will be written on the server side, and the display related things mostly written on the client side, right? So whenever we open any application, as we cannot see what is happening inside the server side, that is like how they have written the code, and what database they are using, all such things we cannot observe, right? So that's the reason The server side program and the database related thing, we call it as backend, because we cannot see things will happen in the background. That's why we call it as front end. And whatever the things which we see are called front end. So we call this as front end. So in the industry, whoever works on this right side, technologies like either Java, .NET with any of the database are known as backend developers. And in the industry, whoever is responsible for developing the front end of your application, that is website creation, web designing. Uh, for that, whoever creates that or whoever is responsible for that, they are called front end developers. And where that full stack word now? Yes, we'll talk about that word now. This is the time to talk about that word. But this backend developers' duty is different. They will be writing the logics in the server side. Whenever data comes to the server from the client, what should happen? Any request come from the client to the server, what should happen? If the request is this, then what should do? If the request is that, then what should do? That kind of logics are written in the server side. But to get that request, you should have a client, right? Means like one web page should be there. For that, front end developer will be creating the websites or web pages, whatever it is, they'll be creating the front end. But this scenario was there up to 2016 or 17, around, I'm just telling, not exactly same, but around like that. But uh, maybe before that, nowadays, in the company, uh, most of the companies, they are not okay with the guys only doing front end development or only doing the back end development. They are encouraging their back end developers to learn the front end technologies, and also they are encouraging their front end developers to learn the back end technologies. I'm using the word encouraging, but rather they are forcing their employees to learn, because they want one person to be responsible for both front end as well as back end. So here in the software industry, whoever works on both the sides, like the front end development and as well as the back end development together, the development is called full stack development. And the people whoever is working like that are known as full stack developers. So the development is called full stack development, and those developers are called full stack developers. So I hope you guys got the idea, like what exactly full stack development is. So to summarize this, whoever is responsible for creating the front end of a web application, at the same time the back end of a web application, are known as full stack developers, and such development is called full stack development. So coming to the back end side, you have either one of the language along with one framework, Java with Spring combination, Node with Express, Python with Django, .NET with something .NET Core or ASP.NET with some database, assume like a backend development. But coming to the front end side, I mentioned three. You should know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for creating a web page. If you have like uh, three things separately, means obviously there might be a what you call, like duty of the HTML different, the duty of CSS different, the duty of the JavaScript different. So what exactly HTML will do in the creation of web page is, it will add the content to your web page. What exactly CSS will do over there is, it will be adding uh, styles to your web page, different styles to your web page. What exactly JavaScript will do here is, using HTML and CSS we can create the sites, but the sites are not much interactive, like they are like static sites. Whatever the site you create, that can be opened by one person and can be seen just like it, like a pamphlet. You can see it, but you cannot get some dynamic nature in your page. To add such a dynamic nature to your web pages, we use JavaScript. Let's say, for example, dynamic nature means you choose you have some bus booking site. You choose something like Hyderabad. Next, you choose some option like Bangalore. Then, if you click the button called Get Buses, you'll be getting some list of buses there in one place. Next, if you make it from Hyderabad to Chennai, then in the same place you'll be getting other list of buses. It will not take you to the other page. It will be in the same page only, but the content will be different. Understood? That is called dynamic content. Such nature you cannot achieve with help of HTML and CSS. You need JavaScript for that. Using HTML, you can add different content. Using CSS, you can provide different beautiful styles to that content. But the dynamic nature you cannot achieve with HTML and CSS. With JavaScript, you can do that. And HTML is very simple language, tag based language. If you know tags, some tags will be there, you have to learn it. CSS is also a simple language compared to other, like its properties will be there. CSS properties like style properties will be there, which you can learn easily. But coming to the JavaScript, to add dynamic nature to your program or your web page, right? Obviously, how to learn some programming here. So to help front end side programming, which is happening through JavaScript, we have framework also for JavaScript. The way we have framework for Java, .NET or Python language, for front end side for this also we have the framework. For JavaScript also we have a framework here. That is, we have so many frameworks are actually available for JavaScript. Among them, we have few important like React.js, Angular, Vue.js, like that we have. But among them, uh, Angular and React are the most popular front-end side or JavaScript frameworks, I can say. You don't require two, you require only one. So among these, here in our course, we go with the React. Why actually we are going with the React over other frameworks and all, that I will talk in other sessions exclusively when I talk about React and all. But here, coming to the front end side, we are learning a framework called React. So this is our full stack development, and in this, these are the front end and these are the back end. And during our course, what are the things we are going to learn here is, coming to the front end side, we'll be learning all these technologies here, whatever I mentioned. Uh, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript we'll be learning. Along with that, we'll be learning React or React.js. Coming to the back end here, there are some advantages why to go with that. That is like, we'll be going with the Node.js. Node.js, if you are going, means here we have Node.js, and in that framework called Express.js will be there. And we have a database called MongoDB also. It's one of the most popular databases nowadays. We use that latest database. And why we go with this backend instead of Java or another .NET? Because if you want to learn full stack, then you need knowledge in both the front end and back end. If you're talking about the other technologies, here to make front ends, proper front ends, beautiful front ends, you need HTML, CSS. Along with that, for coding, you need a language called JavaScript. Even inside the React, also it's a framework, right? Obviously, it's not a language. There also we have JavaScript language. And coming to the back end, if you have the other language like uh, Java or anything, then you have to start everything from the scratch. But if I do choose something like Node.js, then we no need to learn the new language to develop it. If you have the knowledge in JavaScript, same language we'll be using in the Node.js. The only difference is the purpose. So JavaScript you use at front end is for adding just dynamic nature to your pages, but at the back end side you'll be writing it for the logics. So to request, handle the request, connect it to the database, work with the database connections, work with the database data present in the database, format the data, generate the responses. To do such activities we use JavaScript in the backend, but the language is same. Node.js and Express environments, inside that we use the same language. So even for working with the MongoDB database also, the queries if you want to make through the database, we use JavaScript only. Methods will be there. If you know the JSON, there will be one format of data. If you know that, you can able to work with that. So means in simple words I can say, if you learn one language called JavaScript perfectly, you can master in the complete full stack program. So that's the reason, means you no need to run after new languages to really become a full stack developer. So in our course we learn these as primary technologies: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js, Express, MongoDB. Other than this, we do learn so many other things uh, as part and parcel of our program. That is like something, we'll be learning about what exactly Bootstrap. It is like a ready-made CSS library. What we will be doing with that, that we'll be learning. And there is some concept called APIs, REST APIs, and all. So I don't want to talk about all these things. You can't understand right now. If I talk something like REST APIs, how to create them, then we talk about a tool called Postman, using which how to test the API. Means this is like backend testing as of now. How to create your backend, and then how to test your backend is working properly or not. Then we'll be working with the tools like IDs called Visual Studio Code and all, and we'll be learning some debugging skills. So many things you'll be learning inside our program, and everything will be here like practical things. And coming to the lab, like what are the things you are going to implement here is, you will be doing more than five plus live projects, the real time scenario projects you'll be implementing in your course. That is, once you're done with HTML and CSS, you'll be creating a project purely on HTML, CSS. Once you learned JavaScript, along with JavaScript, you'll be creating one more project. Using pure React, you'll be creating a project. So front end only, and with the help of Bootstrap, you'll be doing so 3 4 projects you'll be doing over there. Next is back end using Node and MongoDB, along with Express. You'll be doing one pure backend application. Then later you'll be creating one application with the Node and MongoDB, and for that you'll be creating one front end. You'll be connecting the front end with the back end, both the connections. Then it will be serving like a complete web application, like a full stack web application. Such also will be, doing over there. And even in the course, we'll be talking about the Git, so source code management system or something like version controlling. Means like how to store your data in the remote repository, and such things also will be discussing. So as today is the demonstration session, so I don't want to get uh, into the subject. So but I want to just to give you the a brief about what exactly the things we are going to learn in our course. So as our course is containing the React, any of HTML, CSS, JavaScript are common. React, Node, Express, and MongoDB are the uh, primary technologies. People have some special name for this full stack. Generally, it's a full stack only, but for this full stack, you have a special name called Marn stack, or people call it as Man full stack, or people call it as Man stack. It is very simple. These are the technology names, first letters, like M stands for MongoDB, E Express, R React, where N stands for Node.js. So that's it, guys. This is from my side. In terms of demonstration on full stack development. I hope you guys are uh, clear with this. Like, I hope at least you got some idea like what exactly full stack development is, what are the technologies involved in that, and why to learn the full stack development. And I myself, Keshav, and I have been working as full stack developer around 9 plus years, and have worked on different front end technologies like along with JavaScript, Angular, React, and all. Coming to the back end as well, so I worked on Java and the Node.js mostly. And coming to the databases, I worked on different category of databases like relational databases like Oracle, MySQL, and all. Coming to this NoSQL style, I worked on MongoDB database extensively. So, which means as I worked on both the sides, both the front end and as well as back end. So, I will be dealing the both the things here, both front end and back end. I only will be dealing in this complete full stack development course. So that's it, guys. That's it from my side. And if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask your doubts by unmuting yourself. You can ask your doubt, or you can even shoot out your questions in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer you.
Yeah, hi Keshav.
Yeah, hi, Reshma.
Yeah, in this course, will they cover the Bootstrap, REST API, Postman, and VSN also?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Like actually, I'm looking for UI development, not full stack development.
No problem. So you can go for up to React.
Yeah, like how long will be the course?
So actually, the total course would be like 2.5 months. So the half
Hmm.
would be for your half, or something more than half would be for front end UI development.
Okay. Yeah, we will have live projects also. They will include
Yes, yes,
any
yes.
any. Okay.
Yeah, but once you are done with the specific modules, then we'll be introducing the projects.
Okay.
Any other thing, Reshma?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Currently, you're working, or what's your status?
Right now, I'm not working.
Mm.
But before that, I used to work. Now I
Okay,
just quit my job. And I was looking. I want to change my domain, so I quit my job.
okay, okay. So you're not into development earlier. Okay. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm in a testing field earlier.
Yeah. Okay, okay, fine.
Like for UI development, is it compulsion to learn any of the database?
Not required.
Not required. Okay.
Yeah.
Like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React,
And yeah,
and
bootstrap.
anything Bootstrap. Is this enough
Yeah,
for
and
to become a UI?
yes, yes. And how to work with that Visual Studio Code tool. That if you know, and that will be enough.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm good from my side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Yeah. I'm looking forward to meet you in the next session. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah.